Good morning, class. Sorry, we cannot have the live class today because I have a doctor's appointment at 10:45. Need to be there at 10:30. So I think I should be able to record this before. So today we are going to talk about the operating system. If you have taken the operations management, you probably like it's a sort of like a review for you guys. But if you haven't taken the operation management, then it is maybe like a introduction for you. Okay, I will just briefly talk about this. Usually, you know, it takes one semester to really learn about operation management. So operating system is the system for a changing forms, place, or time. And then they have sequence of different steps to convert or transform the input into output. And we do need special skills, tools, machines to make the change. So for example, if we want to do the bakery, we need to convert the input like sugar, egg, flours, milk, butter, you know, whatever you put in your cake, and then into the output, the cake. Okay. And then in this process, we will need special skills like, you know, to mix or to put certain ingredient. We need tools like the mixer or machine, what is that? The oven to bake the cake. Okay, so it's just very simple example, but this is what we call the operating system. Okay, and we need to have good instructions. Like when we are baking cake, you know, we all have our own secret recipe, and then we'll have the time frame, you know, how long this work will be done. And once if you know, keep doing this, you will know, oh, it takes me about maybe 2 hours to bake a cake or something like that. So that's the operating system. And we have input, like what we just talked about: material, people, money, information, machines, other productive factors. Okay, like what I say, materials could be, you know, the materials we use to make flour, make cake. Okay, and then people, you know, the bakers that bake the cake, and then the process, you know, convert those input into product that customer want. That's the process. Okay, from the different ingredient to a cake, and then output is the product we produce. So that's the operating system. But how the operating system is, you know, we just convert input to output and then sell it to the customers. So that's the operations or production, similar to operating system. And this is like the process to begin the operations. First, we have to choose the right location, and then we have to plan the facility, like where we want to put different tools, machines, you know, how do we want this to work, even where we are going to put the stuff, how would the customer walk in, how, and then, you know, they can take a look at the cakes or the cookies, and then cashier, you know. So that's actually there are different ways to plan. And then we would decide on the layout, like what I say, you know, where you put different stuff, how do you want the flow, like if a customer walk in, how do you want them to, you know, move. Okay. And then implement your plan. So this one is the operations involved in producing a Whopper. Yeah, so so they have different, you see that they have, like, this is input, you know, the meat, the burger, the mayonnaise, tomatoes, lettuce, and then the rolls, the onion, the pickles, and then wrappers. So they have the process. You cook the meat, and then you assemble the meat with the rolls, the onions, pickle, tomato, lettuce here. And then after you put everything in, you wrap it, and then that's the output, and the customer will be here. Okay, so that's the process. And then to choose the location, we, you know, so it's, remember, I forgot which class, like when we say how, you know, what is the factor of successful business, they will say location, 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 right? So location actually is very important. Okay, so some of the factors affecting location choices, is the location provide enough workforce for you? Okay, so do you have capable, well-trained, stable workforce at certain location? And would you have availability for enough or affordable supplies and services? And the transportation, you know, the road condition, okay? And then the taxes, government regulation, whether or not they have available electricity, gas, water, sewage, other stuff. If not, you know, how much does it cost? And yeah, so those are the things that you need to kind of think about. You know, where I live, our community has propane. Like we use electricity, and then we have propane, like the stove oven is propane, and then the dryer is also propane, the heater is propane. So we actually, like in the winter time, my propane bill, I remember last year it could be $300 something. Yeah, and the past the past February and March, I totally I only have $50 for my propane bill. I was like, huh, maybe because I, you know, in March I wasn't home for like 10 days for spring break. So I thought, oh, maybe, oh, more than 10 days. I was gone for, yeah, I was gone for a while. So I thought, oh, maybe because I wasn't home, I don't use them much, you know, and I didn't cook much. So I thought, oh, maybe that's the reason. And, you know, during those days, like it's kind of warm, right? But then a few days ago, I got a phone call from the propane company. They say, oh, you know, your meter is broken. I said, oh, really? And I was wondering why my bill is so low. I thought, you know, because we signed I enter they have the budget plan. So they basically take out $150 every month, and they just deduct the, you know, the amount I owe. And I still have 600 left. Like in theory, like that based on last year's bill, you know, like in February, March, I'll have like 300 something bill. So I don't know what happened, but I thought because when we enter the budget plan, the rate actually is lower. So I thought maybe that's why it's cheaper. But then, you know, it turns out it's the meter wasn't working. Hey, stop. And that's why. But you know, this being said, is if you move to a neighborhood that they don't have gas or they don't have propane, you know, everything rely on electricity. So that when you buy your machine, let's say if you are going to start a bakery, then you have to buy the electric oven, right? You cannot buy the gas oven or the propane oven. So those are the things that we have to be careful of. I have a friend that I met from the dog park. She just called me yesterday that she got COVID. And then today my throat started to itch. I hope it's because I was yelling at my daughter too much over weekend, not because I got COVID again. Well, I just had my booster shot last weekend. So anyway, some specific factor to consider for different businesses. So the retailers, they sell product to the end user, okay? And producers, they convert material into product in a big amount for others to sell to the end users. And the service company, they just provide service to customers. So because of this, we would try to like fit the location to different type of business. Like the retailers, you know, want it to be closer to the end user, the ultimate consumer. So does service companies. Okay, but the producers, usually when we are produce products, usually it's kind of loud. So we want to be maybe a relatively remote area, but with very easy to access like how do you call that, like the road, okay, the not transportation, but you know the road is big enough so you know trucks can come in and go easily without issues. So for rating, there's a rating sheet for different sites, you know, can rate low from 1 to 10 as high, and then we can put different weight, like how important you think it is. So centrally located to reach my market, okay. Raw material readily available, quantity of available labor, transportation availability and rate, labor rate and pay, adequacy of utility, local business climate, provision of a future expansion, tax burden, you know. So all these are some of the things that we can take a look. And you know, there are this kind of list available online a lot. So you know, you can go find whatever list that you think suit for you, or you can just write down your own list and then maybe put it down for a while and then go back. Oh shoot. It's a bad thing about working at home. Oh my goodness. Milo, leave him alone. So the dog is chasing the cat now. So different type of stores, convenient, good, shopping goods. Shopping goods are something that they buy not that often, and they would that's only offered in few stores. And the convenience good would be they buy it often, routinely and quickly, and they can go anywhere that you know they can, like the milk or water, you know, usually sometimes it depends. So so that's different. And then specialty goods, they bought infrequently and usually at very exclusive places, and you have to make special offer. Milo, leave him alone. And then we have seasonal stores where we can target the customer for specific season or event. And some of them open year round, some are only open seasonally. Like the, what's that place called? Halloween, Halloween something. Halloween, there's a Halloween store. I forgot what it's called. I don't even know. I don't think they open like after the Halloween. I think they only open for a few months, like few months before Halloween, and then they are closed. I'm not sure. It just never occurred to me to go and check. But yeah, Halloween something. Oh, I forgot. They like last year, before Halloween, we went to pick the costume for my daughter, and then she's like, the store manager say, "Is that your daughter?" I said, "Yeah." And she's like, don't worry, that this, you know, it's not like I'm the store manager. I'm just curious if she can work here. And then I say, so what's the legal age to work? And then she say 14. Oh, and then that time my daughter is only 11. So she said, is she like 13? And I said, no, she's only 11. So some of the store only open seasonal, and then some they are actually open year round. Like is it the Party City? Also the place we can buy Halloween stuff, but I think they open all year long. And then different location. So the downtown location. And then like where I am, like is a tiny town. And then we have a lot of stuff like on the main street of the downtown area. And then we have the freestanding store. They're usually spread out in different places, like T-Mobile. They are not in the downtown, but they are in some kind of plaza that's also easy to get to. T-Mobile, the AT&T, the Five Guy Burger, so they are not really in the downtown area, but and then we have shopping center. It depends. Usually it's kind of weird, like in Pennsylvania, in a remote area of Pennsylvania, we have those kind of plaza. They have few stores, and then it's just we have a lot of those tiny plazas everywhere. Yeah, like if you go to some other city, they will have a huge shopping center somewhere, and then everything you can find is there. Yeah, and then we have and then also we have the anchor store that generates heavy traffic in a shopping center, like let's say the High Valley Mall. They have the Apple store. I think that's where they attract a lot of people, and then the Barnes and Noble. So I think that's the anchor store. The drawbacks of shopping center is usually like they will charge you more because they know they have the traffic, like they have the people coming in and goes. And then sometimes there are restrictions by shopping centers owner or management, and then where they might have operating regulation, and then it might be a possible changes, like because there are people that's focusing on the shopping center real estate investment, so they might have different owners or managers, so it might be changed. And then for the manufacturing plant or production plant, like I say, it usually cannot be too close to residence area, right? So so usually they are depending on the availability, the cost of proper mode of transportation. Yeah, so usually that's the main issue. You wanted to have good access of the different transportation. And then to plan the physical facilities, the buildings, different machines, other equipment, and then the furniture stuff that you need to display or produce the product. Okay, so we have to determine the product to be produced. Like I say, cake, you want cake, cookies, what else, and then with that, with the product in mind, you can identify the operations activities that you will need to do, right? And then you decide the space requirement, and then we will decide the layout, and then we implement the plan. Okay. And so for the physical facility, telecommuting, like the different the phone, machine, computer, the internet. Okay, so we want to make sure it has those things. I don't know if you guys ever been to some friend's house, like it's so weird, like the friend's house just has like the dead spot for cell phone signal. So it's surprising to know, like in a 21st century, we still have, you know, some spot that don't have any signals, but it does happen. Like it is around us. So, so when you try to find a facility, you need to make sure, you know, you have the equipment, the communication media that you need, okay? Especially nowadays, internet, right? So that's something we need to know, we need to make sure. And then different type of layout. So basically we have the mixed layout, okay? That's mix of these two, product layout and process layout. Product layout, they out based on how the operations will be performed. Like let me see. What's the, like when we go to Subway, okay, you go pick the bread first because it's, you know, first thing, and then you pick whatever, and then go to the end and then check out. Okay, so that's the product layout, like how they are going to do different things. The process layout is they put the similar type of work together. So it's like in our cafeteria, in the school cafeteria, they put the Italian, the pizza, the spaghetti in one area, and then they put the one area to do sushi, and then one area is hamburger, fries, you know. So the similar type of work, I think. So that's the process layout. So this is the clean drum plans layout. So we start from, excuse me, I might really get sick. So let me see. I think we start from here, the drum waiting area. And then, you know, after we receive it, put it here. And then we do the flusher the first time. And then what is chimer? Doing this, and then going here. And then we do the press, a test, rinse, and then we do the flusher second time. And then we do suction, inventory, oven. And then we have the channers, and then and then we send it to paint, okay? And then eventually come back here to waiting to be shipped, storage, okay? So that's the layout. So that you see that it goes based on the process, okay? And then the next one is a product layout. Product layout, like I mentioned, you go to a buffet, there's salad, meat, vegetables, bread, dessert, drinks, register. Okay, so that's the product layout. The process the process layout will be, you know, appetizer, meat, vegetables, salad. So they put, it's like our cafeteria, pizza, they put stuff there. So we can just basically go get whatever we want, but we won't follow certain process, okay? So that's a process layout, because we won't follow the process because they put similar function in a similar area, okay? So that's that. So the questions to ask about production layout: space for movement. Do we want to, do we have enough space for the cart to move, to turn around, or do we have enough wiring, plumbing, you know, those kind of stuff to plan? Okay, and whether or not it's safe, the working condition, how, like cleanness, maintenance, how easy to keep it clean. So those are the things, and then the aesthetics, whether or not it looks nice to the customers or employee. So those are the questions we will ask. And then to improve the operations. Find a problem and then try to collect, record the information, and then see whether or not we have other options, and then try to maybe select and then implement and then follow up on the new method. So that's that. So who performed the activity when we try to develop, analyze alternatives? What is it, where it's been done? Why is this activity being performed? Can the activity be performed in a better way? Can it be combined with another activity? Okay, can a sequence change or to reduce the volume, and then can it be simplified? So those are the questions we can kind of ask. And the performance standard, can be set by the estimate of the people that, had already experienced in a similar work. And then, or you can observe the time, how long does it take, okay? And then synthesis of the element times obtained from published table. And then maybe try to see whether or not you can, see get it from different standard and then compare it. So that's the operation management for small business when you want to start a business. So it's kind of, people usually tend to not ignore, but doesn't think it's as important as marketing, but this is also important. It makes sure your quality of the product, the flow is smooth. So it's also important. And so that's it for today. And it's good that I still have time. So I'm going to also send out email to everybody so that you guys know you don't have to log into Zoom today. Okay, thank you. Bye.